The storm had not stopped for days. Rain hammered the rooftops, thunder shook the windows, and the city outside felt restless and loud. In a small apartment at the edge of town, a man sat awake in the darkness, staring at the ceiling while the clock moved slowly past midnight. His body was exhausted, but his mind refused to rest. Every mistake he had ever made returned like ghosts. Every fear about tomorrow grew heavier in the silence. He tried music, distractions, and endless scrolling through his phone, but nothing could quiet the noise inside his head. Then he remembered something an old teacher once told him. You do not suffer because the world is loud. You suffer because your mind never learned how to be still. That sentence changed his life. Instead of fighting his thoughts, he began learning how to observe them. Instead of chasing control over everything around him, he learned to control himself. Night after night, he practiced silence, patience, and inner discipline. Slowly, the storms inside him began to fade. The anxiety lost its power. The fear weakened. And for the first time in years, he slept peacefully. Tonight, this video is for anyone whose mind feels overwhelmed, restless, tired, or heavy. If you have been carrying stress, emotional pain, overthinking, fear, or mental exhaustion, stay with this teaching until the very end. These timeless Stoic lessons are designed to calm the mind, strengthen the spirit, and guide you gently into deep inner peace while you sleep. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and join a growing community of people learning how to master themselves, protect their peace, and live with strength through Stoicism. Your support helps this channel create more powerful teachings like this for you every week. The Stoics believe that peace does not come from controlling the world. Peace comes from controlling your response to the world. Most people spend their lives trying to force life into their plans. They try to control other people's opinions, future outcomes, unexpected events, and things far beyond their power. Because of this, their minds never rest. Their thoughts run endlessly in circles, searching for certainty in a world that constantly changes. But Stoicism teaches a different path. There are things you can control, and there are things you cannot. You can control your thoughts, your actions, your discipline, and your attitude. You cannot control the opinions of strangers, the mistakes of the past, or every challenge waiting in the future. The moment you truly understand this, your mind becomes lighter. Much of your suffering disappears because you stop fighting battles that were never yours to win. As you listen tonight, allow yourself to let go. You do not need to solve your entire life before morning comes. You do not need to carry tomorrow tonight. Rest your mind. Breathe slowly. Let these teachings settle deeply into your spirit as your body relaxes more and more with every word. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that the mind becomes colored by the thoughts it repeats every day. Think about that carefully. If your thoughts are constantly filled with fear, anger, envy, regret, or comparison, your entire life begins to feel dark and heavy. But if your thoughts become calm, disciplined, patient, and focused, your life begins to change from within. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed. What you water daily will grow. Most people unknowingly water anxiety. They replay painful memories. They imagine worst-case scenarios. They compare themselves endlessly to others. Then they wonder why peace feels impossible to find. Stoicism teaches you to become more careful about what enters your mind. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every emotion deserves your obedience. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This realization alone can free you from endless mental suffering. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, imagine your thoughts as clouds passing slowly across the sky. You do not need to chase them. You do not need to fear them. You do not need to hold on to them. Simply watch them pass. The calmer you become, the quieter your inner world begins to feel. One of the greatest causes of mental noise is the desperate need for approval. Many people spend their entire lives trying to be accepted by everyone around them. They fear criticism. They fear rejection. They fear being misunderstood. Because of this, they lose themselves completely. The Stoics warned against becoming slaves to other people's opinions. No matter how kind, talented, intelligent, or successful you become, someone will still judge you unfairly. Someone will misunderstand your intentions. Someone will dislike you without reason. This is part of life. The moment you stop needing universal approval, your mind becomes free. Do not hand your peace to strangers. Do not allow the opinions of people who do not truly know you to control your emotions. A strong mind remains steady whether praised or criticized. Tonight, release the burden of trying to please everyone. You were not born to live according to the expectations of others. You were born to live according to truth, wisdom, and inner integrity. As your breathing slows, remember this. The people who matter most will recognize your value without demanding you become someone else. Stoicism also teaches that suffering often comes from resisting reality. People exhaust themselves wishing life were different. They replay conversations they cannot change. They fight against events that have already happened. They refuse to accept painful truths. But reality does not change because we resist it. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is wisdom. When you accept reality fully, your mind stops wasting energy fighting what already exists. This creates space for peace, clarity, and strength. If something painful happened today, accept that it happened. If someone disappointed you, accept who they are. If life feels uncertain, accept uncertainty. The Stoics understood that peace begins where resistance ends. This does not mean giving up on growth or improvement. It means seeing reality clearly before deciding how to respond wisely. A calm mind responds better than an emotional mind. Tonight, let go of resistance. Stop replaying what cannot be undone. Release the need to control every outcome. Life becomes lighter when you stop carrying unnecessary mental battles. Another lesson from Stoicism is the power of silence. Modern life is filled with endless noise. Notifications, arguments, opinions, distractions, and constant stimulation pull the mind in every direction. Most people never spend a moment alone with themselves. Because of this, they become strangers to their own inner world. The Stoics valued silence because silence reveals truth. In silence, you begin hearing your real thoughts. In silence, you notice your fears. In silence, you discover your strength. A peaceful mind is not built through endless distraction. It is built through awareness. Tonight, as this teaching continues, allow the silence between the words to calm your spirit. You do not always need entertainment. You do not always need constant activity. Sometimes the greatest healing happens in stillness. Your mind deserves rest. Your soul deserves quiet. Your heart deserves peace. One of the deepest Stoic teachings is the understanding that everything in life is temporary. Every season changes. Every pain eventually fades. Every difficult moment passes. Even the storms that feel endless cannot last forever. When people forget this truth, they become trapped inside temporary emotions. A bad moment feels permanent. A painful experience feels eternal. But the Stoics constantly reminded themselves of impermanence. This moment will pass. This fear will pass. This sadness will pass. Even now, as you listen, your body is slowly relaxing. Your breathing is becoming softer. Your thoughts are becoming quieter. The tension you carried throughout the day is beginning to dissolve little by little. Trust the process of life. Not every answer arrives immediately. Not every wound heals overnight. But peace grows slowly inside those who remain patient. The Stoics also believe that true strength comes from discipline, not emotion. Emotions change constantly. One moment you feel motivated. The next moment you feel discouraged. If your life depends only on emotion, your peace will always feel unstable. Discipline creates stability. Discipline protects the mind. Discipline builds inner confidence. A disciplined person understands that they cannot control how they feel every moment, but they can control how they behave. This creates deep self-respect. And self-respect creates inner peace. Each time you choose patience over anger, you become stronger. Each time you choose calmness over panic, you become wiser. Each time you choose silence over unnecessary conflict, your mind becomes more powerful. Tonight, remind yourself that you are growing even during difficult seasons. Every challenge is shaping your character. Every obstacle is teaching you resilience. The struggles you survived already prove how strong you truly are. Many people underestimate the power of gratitude. The Stoics practiced gratitude daily because they understood something important. The mind cannot feel peace while constantly focusing on what is missing. Gratitude changes perspective. Instead of obsessing over what you lack, you begin noticing what remains. You are still breathing. You are still learning. You still have another chance to grow. Even after difficult days, there are still small blessings surrounding you. A quiet night. A lesson learned. A moment of rest. A new opportunity tomorrow. Gratitude softens the heart. Gratitude calms the mind. Gratitude reminds you that life is not only pain. Tonight, before sleep takes you gently into rest, think of a few things you are thankful for. They do not need to be big. Sometimes the smallest blessings carry the deepest peace. The Stoics also warned against living too far in the future. Anxiety is often born from imagining problems that have not happened yet. The mind creates endless scenarios, fears, and uncertainties. But most of these fears never become reality. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. Return your attention to the present moment. Right now, in this moment, you are safe. Right now, you are breathing. Right now, you are resting. The future will arrive when it arrives. You do not need to live inside tomorrow tonight. Stay here. Stay present. Let your mind settle into the calmness of now. As your eyes grow heavier, remember that peace is not something you chase endlessly outside yourself. Peace is something you build within yourself through wisdom, discipline, acceptance, gratitude, and inner stillness. The world may remain chaotic. People may remain unpredictable. Life may remain uncertain. But your inner world can still become calm. That is the Stoic way. If these teachings are helping you relax, find clarity, and silence the noise in your mind, subscribe to the channel and become part of this journey toward peace, strength, and wisdom. More life-changing Stoic teachings are coming soon to help you sleep peacefully, think clearly, and live powerfully every single day. Now allow your thoughts to slow down completely. Release the stress of the day. Release the pressure. Release the fear. You have done enough for today. You have carried enough for today. Rest now. And let silence heal what noise could never fix. The Stoics understood something that most people discover too late in life. The quality of your mind determines the quality of your entire existence. A person may possess wealth, status, beauty, or success, yet still live in constant inner chaos. Another person may have very little, yet walk through life with calmness, gratitude, and quiet strength. The difference is not found in possessions. The difference is found in the mind. A peaceful mind is one of the greatest forms of wealth. Tonight, while the world slowly quiets around you, allow yourself to release the pressure to become everything overnight. Many people destroy their peace because they believe they must constantly prove themselves. They feel guilty when they rest. They feel anxious when progress feels slow. They compare their journey to the lives of others and begin believing they are falling behind. But Stoicism teaches patience. Nature does not rush, yet everything in nature grows exactly as it should. Trees do not panic during winter. Rivers do not force themselves to reach the ocean faster. The stars do not compete with one another in the night sky. Everything moves according to its season. You are allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to heal slowly. You are allowed to rest. Do not let the speed of the world poison the rhythm of your soul. As you continue listening tonight, imagine your mind becoming like still water. Clear. Calm. Undisturbed. The thoughts that once felt loud and overwhelming are beginning to lose their grip. You no longer need to react to every emotion immediately. You no longer need to carry every burden at once. Stillness is strength. The Stoics believed that emotional control was one of the highest forms of wisdom. Not because emotions are bad, but because uncontrolled emotions can destroy peace, relationships, and judgment. Anger, fear, jealousy, and panic become dangerous when they control your actions. A calm mind sees clearly. An angry mind sees enemies everywhere. A fearful mind sees danger everywhere. A peaceful mind sees life as it truly is. This is why Stoicism teaches observation before reaction. When frustration rises, pause. When fear appears, breathe. When sadness arrives, sit with it quietly instead of fighting it. You do not need to become a slave to every passing emotion. Your emotions are visitors. They arrive. They stay for a while. Then they leave. But many people trap themselves because they hold on to emotions long after the moment has passed. They replay old pain until it becomes part of their identity. Stoicism teaches you to feel emotions without becoming imprisoned by them. Tonight, allow your emotions to pass through you like waves returning gently to the sea. You do not need to carry yesterday into tomorrow. You do not need to keep reopening wounds that are trying to heal. Peace begins when you stop feeding the pain that wants to leave. Another important Stoic lesson is learning how to protect your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every opinion deserves space in your mind. Many people feel mentally exhausted because they give their energy away too easily. They involve themselves in unnecessary drama. They chase validation from people who will never appreciate them. They spend hours worrying about things that do not truly matter. Stoicism teaches simplicity. Protect your peace carefully. Guard your attention wisely. Your mind becomes calmer when your life becomes less crowded with meaningless noise. There is strength in walking away from conflict. There is wisdom in silence. There is peace in no longer explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Tonight, remind yourself that you do not need to attend every battle you are invited to. Some arguments are distractions. Some people thrive on chaos. Some situations drain the spirit without offering anything meaningful in return. Choose peace whenever possible. Not because you are weak, but because your inner calm is too valuable to sacrifice for temporary conflict. The Stoics also reflected often on mortality. At first, this may sound dark or uncomfortable, but their purpose was not fear. Their purpose was clarity. They understood that life is temporary, and because of this, every moment matters deeply. When you remember that life is short, many unnecessary worries lose their importance. Petty arguments lose meaning. Endless comparison loses meaning. Fear of embarrassment loses meaning. You begin focusing on what truly matters: wisdom, kindness, courage, peace, and presence. One day, every stressful moment you worried about will disappear into history. One day, the opinions of others will no longer matter. One day, all the things you feared so deeply will fade away. So why spend tonight torturing yourself with anxiety? Why poison your present moment with imagined disasters? Instead, breathe deeply and appreciate this moment of quiet existence. You are alive. You are here. And despite everything you have survived, your spirit is still standing. That alone is powerful. The Stoics believe that suffering often becomes heavier when we isolate ourselves from truth. Many people pretend to be strong while silently breaking inside. They suppress emotions, ignore exhaustion, and refuse to slow down. But true strength is not pretending nothing hurts. True strength is remaining steady while healing. You are not required to carry every burden alone forever. Rest is not failure. Silence is not weakness. Slowing down is not giving up. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is allow yourself to recover. Tonight is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming peaceful. As sleep slowly approaches, imagine every word in this teaching becoming lighter inside your mind. Imagine stress leaving your body with every breath. Your shoulders relax. Your jaw softens. Your heartbeat becomes steady and calm. The day is over now. You survived it. Whatever happened today no longer needs your full attention tonight. The Stoics often practiced mental detachment from things outside their control because they understood how fragile external things truly are. Wealth can disappear. Reputation can change overnight. Relationships can shift unexpectedly. Even health and comfort are never fully guaranteed. But there is one thing nobody can take from you easily: your character. Your ability to remain calm. Your ability to choose wisdom over panic. Your ability to respond with dignity. This is why Stoicism focuses so deeply on inner strength. External life will always change. But the stronger your inner world becomes, the less easily life can shake you. A strong mind remains balanced in success and failure. A strong mind remains humble in victory and calm in hardship. A strong mind understands that peace is built from within. Tonight, stop searching for peace in things that constantly change. Stop believing happiness only exists in the future. Stop telling yourself you can only rest after solving every problem. Peace is available now. Not because life is perfect, but because you are learning to stop fighting yourself. The Stoics also practiced deep self-reflection. Before sleep, they often reviewed their actions calmly, not to punish themselves, but to grow wiser. They asked themselves simple questions. What did I do well today? Where did I lose control unnecessarily? How can I become calmer tomorrow? This practice created awareness instead of shame. Growth becomes easier when honesty is combined with compassion. Tonight, reflect gently on your day. Forgive yourself for moments of weakness. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Forgive yourself for not having all the answers. You are still learning. You are still growing. And growth takes time. The moon does not rush across the sky. The ocean does not rush its waves. Nature moves with patience. Perhaps your life should too. As your eyes grow heavier, allow these Stoic teachings to settle deeply into your subconscious mind. Let them quiet the endless mental chatter that has exhausted you for so long. You do not need to fear silence anymore. Silence is where clarity begins. Silence is where wisdom grows. Silence is where the soul finally rests. And tonight you deserve rest. Far away from the noise of crowded cities and endless distractions, there once lived an old philosopher who spent most of his evenings sitting beside the sea. Every night, he watched the waves rise and fall beneath the moonlight. A young student once asked him why he returned to the same place every evening instead of searching for excitement like everyone else. The old philosopher smiled gently and said, "The ocean teaches me what the mind should become. No matter how violent the storm is above, the deeper waters remain calm." That lesson stayed with the student for the rest of his life. Most people live only on the surface of their minds. Every criticism shakes them. Every inconvenience frustrates them. Every fear controls them. They are tossed around emotionally by every little storm life creates. But Stoicism teaches you to go deeper. Beneath the stress, beneath the fear, beneath the overthinking, there is a quieter part of you that remains untouched. That is where peace lives. Tonight, as you continue listening, imagine yourself drifting far beneath the surface of all your worries. The noise above begins to fade. The pressure begins to disappear. Your thoughts slow down like gentle waves moving across calm water. You are safe here. You do not need to prove anything tonight. You do not need to solve everything tonight. Just rest. The Stoics believe that much of human suffering comes from attachment. People become attached to outcomes, possessions, expectations, and even identities they created for themselves. Then, when life changes unexpectedly, they feel broken because they built their peace on unstable things. But life will always change. People change. Circumstances change. Plans change. Nothing external stays permanent forever. This truth may seem uncomfortable at first, but it can also become deeply freeing. When you stop clinging desperately to things outside your control, your mind becomes lighter. You begin appreciating life without trying to imprison it. A peaceful person enjoys life without constantly fearing loss. A wise person understands that everything borrowed from life must someday return. Tonight, release your grip on what you cannot control. Do not cling so tightly to expectations that you forget how to live. The future is unknown, and that is perfectly okay. You do not need certainty to find peace. You only need trust in your ability to handle whatever comes. The Stoics trained themselves to become mentally resilient not by avoiding difficulty, but by changing how they viewed difficulty. Most people immediately label hardship as something terrible. But Stoicism teaches that obstacles can become teachers. Pain can create wisdom. Failure can create discipline. Loneliness can create self-understanding. Challenges can reveal hidden strength. Think about how many difficult moments you have already survived. At the time, you may have believed those moments would destroy you completely. Yet here you are, still breathing, still learning, still moving forward. You are stronger than many of your fears would have you believe. Tonight, stop underestimating yourself. There is resilience inside you that has already carried you through storms you once thought were impossible to survive. The Stoics often reminded themselves that the human mind has a dangerous habit: it exaggerates problems. A small worry becomes a catastrophe. A temporary setback becomes a permanent disaster. The mind creates stories filled with fear, and then begins believing those stories completely. But not every thought tells the truth. Some thoughts are simply fear wearing a convincing disguise. This is why Stoicism teaches awareness. Observe your thoughts carefully. Question them. Do not automatically believe every fearful idea that enters your mind. A calm mind asks, "Is this thought helping me? Is this fear real right now? Am I suffering from reality or from imagination?" Tonight, allow unnecessary fears to dissolve slowly. Most of the things you worry about so deeply may never happen. And if challenges do come someday, you will face them when the time arrives, not tonight. Tonight is for rest. Tonight is for healing. Tonight is for silence. There is also great wisdom in learning how to enjoy simplicity. Modern life constantly pushes people to chase more. More success. More approval. More possessions. More attention. More distractions. Because of this endless chasing, many people forget how to simply exist peacefully. The Stoics valued simplicity because simplicity protects the mind. A simple life creates room for clarity. A simple mind creates room for gratitude. A simple heart finds joy more easily. You do not need endless things to feel complete. Some of the most peaceful moments in life are quiet and ordinary. A cool breeze at night. A calm conversation. A deep breath after a stressful day. The feeling of finally letting go of tension before sleep. Tonight, appreciate the simplicity of this moment. You are resting. You are breathing. You are alive. And that is enough. Another powerful Stoic teaching is the importance of self-respect. Many people lose themselves because they constantly betray their own values to fit into the expectations of others. They say yes when they want to say no. They tolerate disrespect to avoid loneliness. They hide their true thoughts to gain acceptance. But every time you abandon yourself for approval, your inner peace weakens. The Stoics believed that dignity matters more than popularity. Respect yourself enough to protect your peace. Respect yourself enough to walk away from what destroys your spirit. Respect yourself enough to stop shrinking yourself for people who would never do the same for you. Tonight, remember that your worth is not determined by how loudly the world applauds you. Your worth is found in your character, in your honesty, in your discipline, in your compassion, in your ability to remain calm when life becomes difficult. That quiet strength matters more than temporary validation. As your body continues relaxing, imagine all the mental pressure you carried throughout the day slowly melting away. The unfinished tasks can wait until tomorrow. The conversations can wait until tomorrow. The worries can wait until tomorrow. You deserve this moment of peace. You deserve this moment of stillness. The Stoics believe that every day should end with reflection and gratitude rather than anxiety. Many people go to sleep carrying the weight of the world inside their minds. They replay stress until exhaustion finally forces them unconscious. But restful sleep becomes easier when the mind learns to surrender the day peacefully. The day is complete now. Whatever was done is done. Whatever remains unfinished can be faced later. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to disconnect from pressure. You are allowed to simply exist without constantly producing, fixing, or proving something. Tonight, let your mind become quiet enough to hear your own breathing again. Let your thoughts soften. Let your heart slow down. Imagine yourself standing beneath a wide night sky filled with endless stars. Above you is silence. Around you is calmness. Nothing is demanding your attention anymore. For this moment, there is nowhere else you need to be. Only here. Only now. only peace. If these Stoic teachings are helping calm your mind and bring you peace tonight, subscribe to the channel and join this growing journey toward wisdom, emotional mastery, and inner strength. More calming Stoic teachings are coming to help you sleep deeply, think clearly, and live with greater peace every single day. Now close your eyes gently. Release the noise of the world. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the weight of overthinking. And allow yourself to drift slowly into deep, peaceful rest. There is a kind of exhaustion that sleep alone cannot fix. It is the exhaustion of carrying too many thoughts for too long. The exhaustion of pretending to be strong while your mind quietly battles fear, pressure, disappointment, and uncertainty every single day. Many people smile on the outside while chaos lives inside them. The Stoics understood this hidden struggle well. They knew that the mind could become its own prison if left undisciplined. A person can be surrounded by comfort yet still feel trapped by anxiety. They can achieve success yet still feel restless at night. They can appear calm to the world while silently fighting endless mental noise. This is why Stoicism places so much importance on inner mastery. Not controlling the world. Not controlling other people. But learning to control yourself. Tonight, give yourself permission to stop fighting every thought that enters your mind. The harder people resist certain thoughts, the stronger those thoughts often become. Instead, simply observe them quietly and let them pass. Like leaves floating down a river. Like clouds drifting across the sky. Thoughts are temporary unless you hold on to them. The Stoics believe that peace grows when the mind stops attaching itself to every passing emotion. Fear arrives. Observe it. Sadness arrives. Observe it. Anger arrives. Observe it. You do not need to become every emotion you experience. You are greater than your temporary feelings. You are the awareness behind them. As you continue listening tonight, imagine your thoughts becoming slower and slower. The constant tension inside your mind begins to loosen. The pressure begins to fade. The silence around you no longer feels empty. It feels healing. There is wisdom in stillness. Most people fear silence because silence forces them to face themselves. They fill every quiet moment with noise, distraction, entertainment, or endless activity because they are uncomfortable being alone with their own thoughts. But the Stoics viewed silence differently. Silence is where clarity appears. Silence is where truth becomes visible. Silence is where the soul recovers from the noise of the world. Tonight, instead of running from stillness, allow stillness to comfort you. Let the quiet become a place of healing rather than fear. You do not need to carry the world on your shoulders tonight. The world will continue turning while you rest. One of the most freeing Stoic teachings is understanding that you cannot control how others see you. Some people will misunderstand you no matter how honest your intentions are. Some people will criticize you no matter how much effort you make. Some people will project their own pain, insecurity, and anger onto you. And none of that truly defines who you are. The Stoics warned against becoming emotionally dependent on praise or destroyed by criticism. If your peace depends on the approval of others, your peace will always remain fragile. Instead, focus on your own character. Are you honest? Are you disciplined? Are you kind when possible? Are you calm under pressure? That is what truly matters. Not everyone needs to understand your journey. Not everyone deserves access to your inner peace. Tonight, release the burden of trying to explain yourself endlessly. The people who genuinely care about you will recognize your sincerity without demanding perfection. The Stoics also practiced voluntary simplicity because they understood how dangerous endless desire can become. The human mind constantly says, "I will finally feel peaceful when I achieve this. I will finally rest when I gain that. I will finally be happy when life becomes perfect." But peace endlessly postponed becomes peace never experienced. Life will always contain uncertainty. There will always be another challenge, another responsibility, another goal waiting ahead. If you refuse to allow yourself peace until everything becomes perfect, you may spend your entire life chasing a future that never arrives. This moment matters too. This quiet night matters too. This breath matters too. Tonight, stop postponing your peace. Allow yourself to rest even if life still feels unfinished. The Stoics understood that calmness is not found after life becomes easy. Calmness is developed while life remains difficult. That is true strength. Anyone can remain peaceful when everything goes according to plan. But remaining steady during uncertainty, disappointment, or pain requires deep inner discipline. And every challenge you have survived has already been training you for that strength. You are becoming wiser through hardship. You are becoming calmer through experience. You are becoming stronger through endurance. Even if you cannot fully see it yet. As your breathing becomes slower tonight, imagine yourself releasing all unnecessary tension from your body. Your forehead softens. Your shoulders loosen. Your hands relax. The weight you carried throughout the day slowly dissolves into the quiet darkness around you. Nothing urgent is required from you right now. There is nowhere else you need to be. No role you need to perform. No expectations you need to satisfy. Only rest. Only stillness. Only peace. The Stoics believed that gratitude protects the mind from bitterness. A person who constantly focuses only on what is missing will never feel satisfied. Even great blessings become invisible to an ungrateful mind. But gratitude changes perception completely. Suddenly, small things become meaningful again. A peaceful night. A healthy breath. A lesson learned from pain. The opportunity to begin again tomorrow. Tonight, before sleep fully takes you, think quietly about how much you have already survived. Think about the moments you once believed would break you forever. Somehow, you continued moving forward. Somehow, life carried you here. That deserves gratitude. That deserves acknowledgement. You are still here. And that matters more than you realize. The Stoics often reminded themselves not to fear discomfort too deeply. Human beings are more resilient than they imagine. Many people spend their lives terrified of pain, failure, loneliness, rejection, or uncertainty. But often, the fear itself becomes more painful than the actual experience. Fear multiplies suffering. Presence reduces it. Most suffering exists in imagination. Tonight, release the need to predict every possible future problem. The future has not arrived yet. Your mind deserves a break from endless preparation for disasters that may never come. Right now you are safe. Right now you are resting. Right now your only task is to breathe and let go. There is deep healing in surrendering the day peacefully. Not surrendering your dreams. Not surrendering your growth. But surrendering the exhausting need to control everything constantly. Some things must unfold naturally. Some answers require patience. Some wounds require time. The Stoics believe that nature moves wisely without rushing, and human beings should learn from that wisdom. A flower does not bloom by force. The sunrise does not arrive early because someone feels impatient. Life unfolds step by step. And so will your healing. Tonight, trust that not everything needs to be solved immediately. Trust that clarity often arrives quietly. Trust that your mind can become peaceful again. If these teachings are helping you relax, sleep deeply, and silence the noise inside your mind, subscribe to the channel and continue this journey into Stoicism, inner strength, emotional mastery, and lasting peace. More calming teachings are coming to guide you through stress, overthinking, fear, and the challenges of everyday life. Now let the final tension leave your body. Let your thoughts become softer. Let the silence hold you gently. And drift slowly into deep and peaceful sleep.